also recorded and get started here on our live. So hello, everybody, and welcome here on our live. I am so grateful that we have so many people here every Saturday. And, it's really fun because I think people are starting to really realize that Zinzino isn't just a business. It is also a family that you can definitely be a part of. So we are here today, and this week, we're going to talk about one of the things that is our motto, inspiring change in life. And having Zinzino for personal reasons, it has really changed my life in more ways than one. I started on this journey because it really made a difference for my son. And when you change something in a child, you definitely also change the life of their parent. And I know that these products are absolutely incredible in really making a difference in people's lives. So today, we're going to use our live time to talk to a handful of stories on what Zinzino has been doing for them. So I think I will start right away with one of the first stories. So I'm going to ask Sherry to unmute herself and just tell a little bit about herself, where she's from, what she does, and what Zinzino has done for her. So hi, Sherry. Thanks for sharing your story on here. Sherry?
Thanks, Carla. My name is Sherry Strite from Clarissa, Minnesota, and I'm a retired nurse and a para. And I still work with children as a foster grandma. And I love children. That's kind of my mission in life. Before Zinzino, I had a lot of aches and pains, a lot of fatigue, a lot of digestive issues, nausea, and brain fog. And within 2 weeks of using the balance oil, my brain fog was much, much better. I could think clearly. I love it. So my aches and pains are next to nothing. I don't think I realized how bad I was feeling because I'm amazed at how good I feel after a year and a half of being on the products. I'm feeling younger and younger and more energetic and keep up with those grandkids. And hopefully I'm going to inspire change in life in more children and adults' lives.
I
Thank
love
you,
that.
Zinzino.
And Sherry, you were also a nurse, so you knew about health to begin with, and yet your own health had been deteriorating. So just looking at Zinzino now, you can see the changes in yourself. And so what do you think about how the health system that you know it and how Zinzino has been doing changes in people's health? How do you see the difference of that?
The big difference is that they are all about the band-aid approach. It's just, cover up the symptoms. Let's not get to the root cause. I love getting to the root cause. I've been in a natural health for most of my life. And yeah, the root cause is cellular health. You need to have strong cellular health so that the rest of your body can be healthy. Not so much. They don't think about that.
I love it. Well, thank you for sharing your story. I know it's been
Mm.
life-changing for you. And so I appreciate that you came on just to share, because I know it really has been a passion to make a difference. So the next story I'm going to grab on here is also somebody who has had life-changing differences from before and after. So Jimmy, I'm going to ask you to unmute and just tell a little bit about who you are, where you're from, what you do, and what Zinzino has really done to help change your life. Jimmy? Okay, now Jimmy was just here. We need to have you unmuted. Okay, there we go. It was just me who
Okay.
hadn't
Yeah,
had
I
him
tried.
unmuted. There we go. Okay,
I
Jimmy,
tried.
let's
Sorry.
try that again.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, my name is Jimmy. I'm from Denmark. And today I'm working with health and nutrition. And if I should take you back, I was actually growing up with a heart disease. Since I was a child, I was on the big hospital in Copenhagen. And I was there for the first 5 to 6 years. And I've been told that I should not live so long, that I maybe at some point should have a new heart. And so there was always a struggle, and it was getting harder and harder. And then I started on Zinzino in 2012, and some of my heart flimmer disappeared, and I got it better and better, and I started on the rest of the health protocol. And today, it was my third time that I was on a CT scanner, and the doctor looked at me and said, "Jimmy, what the beep have you done? You look like 23 years old." And today I have no problem at all, and can play with my kids, and I feel very alive and young again.
Jimmy, I just love that story because I know actually when you had met Zinzino, you were actually on partial disability because of the heart issues, and your aortas were switched around. So you've been through surgery and surgery and surgery. And yet after meeting Zinzino, I do think you not only are you looking like you're getting younger, but I think you're feeling younger as time goes on, right?
I feel like I'm 22 or something, and I'm 45. So I'm really could feel the difference after all three products. It's really have changed totally my life.
I love that. Well, Jimmy, I know when we talk about inspiring change in life, that's exactly what your story is also doing. Thank you for joining and telling your story. There's a lot of people out there that are thinking, can this really be true? Can these stories really be true of what this is doing? So I think I'm going to steal another person just to maybe even blow your minds even more. Carol, would you mind unmuting yourself? And just, I'd love to hear a little bit about your health journey and hear your story. Carol?
Sure. Hi. I can't beat Jimmy. That's amazing. I want to cry listening to that. That's incredible. So my name is Carol from Nowthen, Minnesota. I had a laundry list of things wrong with me. First, I should tell you, I was a firefighter, I was a flight attendant, I was an office manager, so I did a lot of different things. But I had a list of 16 things that caused me pain, fatigue, and I wanted to give up on life. I hurt so bad. I mean, literally from the top of my head to the soles of my feet. It hurt to touch my hair. My pain in my head was so severe. It hurt to touch my skin anywhere on my body. Every muscle, every joint hurt. I had fatigue. I couldn't sleep at night, insomnia. And I had tried so many different modalities. I really didn't want to try anything else. But I went to a meeting and started on Zinzino products. And within 6 months, all those 16 conditions went away. So I'm no longer taking pain medication, muscle relaxers, or sleeping pills. It's just the Zinzino products, and I am so grateful. So
But
thank you, Zinzino.
And Carol, just hearing your story, because I mean, you knew about health to begin with, and you had been trying to get a handle of all of these different symptoms, and you were taking a ton of medication, you were doing everything. And actually, because this is test-based, one of the things that I really like is to hear even your story of where you started on your test. What was your first test?
First, you have to know that I was already on a very expensive omega-3 product and had been on it for quite a few years. And so I thought of all the tests, this one I was going to pass, but I didn't. It was 8.5 to 1. And I had all those things that caused me so much pain that I wanted to give up. And now I'm at it. Can I tell you what I'm at today?
Absolutely.
I'm at 2.3 to 1. So.
And I can see the smile on your face because you know exactly what those numbers mean. Now, one of the things to hear is so many people think, because our average here in North America is around 25 to 1. And that is so far off balance. And we really don't want anybody to be over 3. And sometimes you'll hear people say, well, you weren't that bad. You weren't that bad. And yet you had a laundry list of things that were making you feel less than, if we're sure. And what I usually say when people are looking at that test is that anything over 3 means that it's just not working optimally. your body isn't working optimally.
Right.
And it's like saying, I only have a little bit of cancer or something. You can't say that either, because anything over this number is not good for your health. So even at 8 something to 1,
8.5. Yeah,
8.5, you had still that laundry list of things. And yet, when you got into balance, it made life-changing differences for you.
absolutely. But we know so many people who have taken that test and those numbers have been very high and they didn't have any symptoms. So you don't know without testing what's actually happening on the inside.
I love that. And I think one of the things you and I have mentioned, which I don't hear this sentence before, but I wrote it down so that we could remember to say it today, is that people are looking at things, but they want sustainable health. They're sustainable everything else out there, but we want sustainable health. So when your body, which is meant to heal itself, gets all the right ingredients and nutrition, that's what's making a difference. And that's what Zinzino's doing. And I know it has been life-changing for you, and I can see it on your smile.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well,
Very
thank you
grateful.
so much, Carol, for coming and sharing your story on here too. I'm going to go to the next person on my list. And Artis, would you mind unmuting and telling us a little bit about your story? Artis?
Yes, I'm Artis Harris from Alexandria, Minnesota. And pain has been kind of a constant companion for me all of my life as well. In first grade, I remember telling my teacher that my mom was coming to take me to a chiropractor appointment. And she said, "Oh, honey, you're too young to go to choir practice." Well, it wasn't choir practice, it was the chiropractor. And I've gone to chiropractors all my life because of back pain and just excruciating headaches that have put me in bed, sometimes days at a time, not making for the best life. I haven't held a job much of my life because of my health conditions. And so it wasn't until I was in my 40s that it was discovered that I had a black pepper allergy. And that was the cause of a lot of my pain that even a chiropractor couldn't fix. A lot of other allergies, including chemicals and drugs, kept me from pursuing the medical. That did more harm than any good. And so I've always had to look elsewhere. I was introduced to Zinzino last summer. It's been about 11 months now. And 4 nights in, I did not lay down to go to bed with pain, toss and turn all night in pain, and wake up in the morning with pain. My get up and go that got up and went around the age of 50 is back. And I cannot believe the quality of health that I have now in my 70s. But besides the physical things, and I had a list, I had about 20 things that I had put on my list, but I didn't put brain health on my list. I did not have a clue what a difference Zinzino was going to make to my brain health. I was told back in 2007, 2009, at the age of 55, that I had old age brain function. In 2021, I was told that it was below 50%. And after 6 months on Zinzino, that same health practitioner told me that it had risen to 79%. And he was astounded. I would never be here speaking like this because I could not put sentences together. I was teaching Bible studies, but I had to work, read, repeat, and write everything down. I couldn't come up with words. And I am so grateful to God and so grateful to Zinzino for the difference it's made, not only in my physical health, but my mental health and even my finances. So thank you.
I absolutely love the story. And you can just feel how much you're glowing now, Artis, and how much it has really made an impact. And this whole thing of inspiring change in life, that's what Zinzino's doing. I really believe there's a lot of people who are just like you out there, artists, who have been just their whole lives almost getting used to always being in pain and not sleeping and doing things. And yet I know you've said that you feel better now in your 70s than you've probably done most of your life. That's
All of my
changing.
Mhm. Yes, it's just I have always been looking for this. And I'm just so thankful. It came so simply. I mean, taking 3 products a day. My goodness, it's just such a blessing.
So I appreciate you telling your story. Thank you so much, artists. So for those of you who are just, wondering, Zinzino, what is really making all this difference? Well, Zinzino is our health protocol in Zinzino. It's just putting your body back to the way it should work and the way it should be functioning. And maybe back like it did 150 years ago, kind of also how we have our blue zones out there. That's what Zinzino is doing. And it's story after story after story of life-changing things for people's health. And many times it's not just the person themselves, but it really makes a difference for all of their families. I know for me, when it changed my son, that made a huge difference because he was a kid who really lived in his own world. And to see within 2 weeks the changes in him, and I wasn't believing it myself. But that's why you don't have to guess about this. You can test it. Now, usually people are waiting those 4 months because of the cell renewal, and our red blood cells take the longest. So most of us are taking that before test, looking at what our score is. And there've been 1.4 million now tests out there. But to not only have, after the 4-month mark, having 95% down into balance, the most exciting thing is the stories that we hear of how life-changing it is. And I, as a parent, well, first of all, I guess I'm not really known for my patients anyway, but because it changed my son so much, he started at 29.4 to 1, a lot different than the rest of my children and a lot higher. But after just 30 days, he went down to 8 to 1. And after his 120 days, he was then in balance, and he has been a different kid since. So like Sherry, we have passions for really helping a lot of kids, but you can hear the life-changing stories everywhere we're going. We're hearing more and more life-changing stories. So now we're going to go up to Canada. And Donna, would you mind unmuting and also sharing your life-changing story?
Yes,
Donna.
of course. Thank you, Miss Carla. I'm Donna Suter-Milan from North Bay, Ontario, and for almost 30 years, I've supported my habit of regenerative farming as a hairstylist and absolutely love both vocations. But my daily pain levels were about 9 out of 10, with almost constant numbness in my hands, legs, and feet. My weight was over 300 pounds, and I had such low energy I needed to nap almost daily. Then I was introduced to Zinzino's balance oil. My stiffness and numbness have drastically decreased, so I can wind perms, do colors again with ease. My weight has plummeted over 100 pounds. And best of all, I can bounce on a trampoline and go tobogganing with our grandsons. Oh, one more best of all, my 83-year-old mother, who was basically giving up on life and was on 9 pharmaceuticals, is now down to 1 pharmaceutical and more active than she's been in the past 15 years since my dad died. So I am so grateful to Zinzino.
I love those. That's more than one story, but also life-changing for everybody in the stories there. And Donna, it's not that our products are really known or said that this is going to be weight loss, but for you, I really believe that when your body is working right, and now you were eating right because you loved your gardening and you were eating all those things, but getting your cell into balance and getting that, that cell membrane working the way it should, now you could get the nutrients and the good food you were eating. Now those nutrients can get in the cell and the toxins could get out. And your body's now working the way it should, which is giving you a lot more energy and making a difference.
Not only was I eating a lot of the food that I was growing, I was also taking about $500 a month worth of nutritional supplements, which I know helped because if I didn't take them, I was in even more pain, but it wasn't doing what it needed to and getting my cell health back. I truly believe that balance oil makes everything else you do work better because your cells can actually absorb the nutrients you're taking in and get rid of those toxins that it's been storing for sometimes our whole life.
And creating all the havoc of the problems in our health. Donna, thank you so much for joining us and telling your story too. You know, and I think even if you're listening to this for the first time, so many people are probably thinking, how could this really be true? But it's health-based, but it's really science-backed. And you hear a lot of our nurses and doctors and chiropractors and people really opening up to say, what is Zinzino really doing? And it's not just something we're saying, all the science is there. My last story is actually a gal who's also from overseas. Like I said, this is a global company. And she, of anybody, also knew health and was having some great stories of Zinzino, not just for herself, but for her family. And I think she and I are the ones that have been promoting this, not only as getting your health done and getting healthy better, but I think she and I have also been saying, this is the best anti-aging on the market, darling, isn't it? Let's bring her on here. Lena, would you come on and just tell your story too? Lena?
Yes, of course. Yes, it is the best anti-aging concept ever. My name is Lena. I live in Denmark and I am a veterinarian nurse.
And Lena, and I know we're going to talk a little bit more about your story, but you know, I think because you were such a person who in the health field really looked at nutrients, and you have scrutinized Zinzino, looking at our health protocol, which is getting into balance is number one, but also the vitamins, minerals, which we call extend, and gut health. And those three things together is what we're calling our health protocol in Zinzino. And that's just a real reset button. But I know that you, if anybody, have been training on these things with animals and how important it is for them, and realizing that a lot of the issues people are having is exactly that, including gut health, because I know that's one of the things that is such a passion for you, right?
Oh, it sure is. So I am working at a little local animal clinic here in Denmark. And I think that we are the only clinic in Denmark doing a lot of treatments without medicine. So we have so many dogs with allergies and skin conditions. And the normal thing to do is put them on steroids. We don't do that. We have 0 patients at the clinic on that kind of medication. They get on an allergy diet. They get the balance oil, the xenobiotic, and we use Protect as well. And when we do that, we can keep them off the medicine. It's quite astonishing.
And you know, that's huge in that. And it's huge for animals that people want to be able to help their animals. But when you're looking at this also for all of us humans, we know that by doing this, it's making a huge difference for our health, because our cells are meant to heal themselves. And when we get all of our cells working the way they should, and that gut working the way it should, that's what's creating all the stories that we hear today. Right?
You're so right. And I love it. I just love it so much. It's the best health protocol you can get. So it's the three things working so beautiful together. And making a symphony in your body to just do better and better and better, and getting younger and younger. So I know that you and I, we joke about our age. So you're just a couple of years older than me, but I am turning 51 in a week.
And
So
feeling like we're younger. I know I've said the same thing because
yeah, oh yeah.
I love it. And I have the same thing. I'll be our birthdays are only a day or so apart. And I'll be turning 56, and I have 3 grandchildren. And like Donna said, I can jump on the trampolines, I can go up crawling, and I don't have the pain with a lot of people would say, okay, we can't do that anymore. So many people think that it's just part of aging. Yeah. Why not live your best life by getting everything in it? And that's why one of the things that I wanted you to also tell your story in regards to getting started in Zinzino, because when you realize this, and like I said, people can choose to become customers or partners. It's both work. You can do either. You pay the same for either one. So if you're looking at becoming healthier, then I recommend starting on our products, checking them out. But for you, would you mind just telling why you got started up in this after knowing of what the products have done and hearing all these stories? You started up in the business. Would you mind telling your story on that?
Yes, I did. Oh, I have a door closing. Boom. So I actually like my job. I love working at the clinic, but it can be kind of tough when you are a single mom and can't make ends meet. And both of my girls, the only wish they have is to have a horse. And sometimes I just pray that, couldn't you just like soccer or volleyball or something else that wasn't that expensive? So I'm a mom, and I like to do everything that I can for my 2 children. So I started Zinzino, and I can still do the things that I love. I can still work with health. I can still make a very big difference. And now it's on the 8th year. So we have had this gorgeous horse for 8 years. And I'm happy. My girls are happy. The pony is happy. So it's turning out quite good.
I love that. And actually, that's another way that Zinzino is really making a big life-changing thing, because now you have had a pony for I don't know how many years, and you can see how much you both love having it, and the girls love it, and it's become part of your family. And you as a single mom were able to do that by helping a lot of people in Zinzino.
Exactly.
Well, Lena, thank you so much for telling your story here. Now I have that same thing as I loved being a teacher, but there are so many meetings in the afternoon and evening, and yet, as much as you love it, I love my family more. And at that time, when I got started 12 years ago, I had 4 children. And when you have 4 children, you're always running because you always happen to have more, and being that taxi mom. And the finding out about what this did in regards to my son, I knew I was going to tell people about it anyway. And within a short period of time, we're out there telling this to more people. And I actually got more than my teacher's wages back. And that's when I think the best gift for me with Zinzino was that I was able to make the choice of continue working as a teacher or being a stay-at-home mom while my kids were at home. That was such a gift. I'm so glad that I was able to have that choice. And now being able to travel and help people in so many different countries has been incredible. But Zinzino is just getting started. Just to let you know, here in North America, there hasn't been a lot of testing done between Canada and the US and Mexico. We haven't even hit 45,000 tests. Around the world, we can now test in over 140 countries. Zinzino is definitely on the move because it's really making a difference. It is on NASDAQ. If you want to check out the company, check it. It's all transparent. Zinzino is on NASDAQ First North. And since its start in 2005, it has had double-digit growth. Why? Because it's working. Because of the stories you're hearing. Because the people in Zinzino really do want to inspire change in life. Not only in products by helping people with their health, but actually also our goals are to hit 1 million in balance by next year, getting up to 30 million here by 2035 or 20 million by 2035 and 100 million by 2050. And to do that, we're going to need more people that are really out sharing this. So if you have heard about this and are looking at sharing this, you can either share as a customer, getting all your products for free also, or getting started like some of us have to really get the stories out. So I'm going to thank everybody for joining here on this Saturday. It was a little bit different. We haven't been sharing as many stories. So if you have a story to share, we'd love to hear about it in either in the comment section here, or we are streaming live into our Teams Zinzino North America page. Or if you're watching a recording from somewhere on a YouTube, you can also put in your story, and we would love to hear what it's doing for you, because we really want to get more stories out there of what Zinzino's doing to inspire change in life. So thank you all for joining. It was great to have you here. I am going to just unmute everybody so we can say thanks for today, and we will see you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great Saturday. Bye. Thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.